whatever. Okay, there we go. All right, so I made our fancy Jam board just because, again, I'm a control freak and I'm extra. But I mean, I feel like we just got to discuss the things. Go ahead and answer the questions like Daryl had mentioned last time, answering the questions. So I guess what we could really just talk about out in the open are maybe some things that stood out to us. If there was something either we like wanted to throw around a little bit more, or like brainstorm questions about, or things like that, maybe to kind of, because I don't have very much inspiration for a blog topic right now either. So maybe if we can help each other do that as well. Thoughts?
I was looking at the disposal of outdated equipment, and I'm curious as to how small towns or districts that are like mine, just out in the country, do that, because I know that we don't have any kind of recycling areas in nearby. So I'm just wondering, what's the process on that?
What we do in our district, I've done two things before. I have done a Dell buyback before. We all have Dell Chromebooks at our school. Like, that's the only kind of Chromebook we have. And so 3 years ago, maybe it was before COVID, I sent an entire list of all the Chromebooks that were about to be end of life. So after 6 years, they're end of life. And they quoted me Chromebooks that they would take back, and we did a buyback. They came and arranged for them to be picked up, and then after they were picked up and taken back, they cut us a check for it. Now, it was pennies, basically, and there were some other issues that went on too, but it was a whole lot of work and not a lot of return, in my opinion. So I have not ever done that again. What we typically do is just our technicians from that serve our district, they come pick up our equipment. It's housed in the storage facility, and we get some kind of company to come get it. The biggest issue, or the biggest thing you have to watch for, is that any company you get to get it, you have to get a certification that it has been completely destroyed, that all your hard drives have been destroyed, because even if you wipe a computer before someone disposes of it, there's still personal information that could be on there, personal network information, stuff like that. So we aren't concerned as much with getting paid for the equipment like some people would. We just want to make sure that it's disposed of properly, and that any data is erased off of it, and we get certificates back that has been done.
Okay.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Go ahead, Erica. You go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I've never been a part of that process, but like now with my new job being at county, we've always had people from county come pick up the technology, but then once it leaves our school, I had no clue what happened to it.
Mhm.
So my boss and I were getting ready to leave to go into a school the other day, and we walk out and there's tons of CPUs and stuff just kind of stacked up outside. And this big company truck came up, and it was like a specific computer recycling truck that came and picked all of these things up. And so I think we do something like you're saying, Katie, that somebody comes and gets them. But I mean, that was interesting for me to see. I was like, I always wondered what happened to all of the extras, or all of the end of life technology. So,
and sometimes they're even picky about what they'll take. Like, I went to the ALIC conference last week, and just when we were just roundtable talking about stuff, somebody mentioned like they wouldn't take the big old monitors anymore, that whatever company they were using would not take those. They would only take like hard drives and certain size things. And like, we have limits of things that we can get our technicians to pick up. So sometimes there are certain things that they won't even accept. Daryl, what do y'all do for your district?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to add. This is my first time getting new equipment as the computer science teacher and tech coordinator. We have brand new desktop computers for the lab, but all the old ones are still on my floor, and it's been about a month ago. So
That sucks.
I think that's a good topic to go down for Beth, to kind of investigate. Because I mean, my principal did mention he was gonna disperse some of those to the staff that might need it extra, desktop for their rooms. But nothing has moved forward since then. So I think that's a good subject to kind of go down though.
Okay.
So basically, it just depends on what your people do, the people that
Right.
make the decision. I will say, just as a personal note, like our Board of Education questioned at our last meeting what was being done with equipment. A board member had seen a very large room holding equipment at one of
Mhm.
our schools, and they wanted to know why we didn't pay, why someone didn't come get that, why we weren't selling that like to the public. But you can't just open that up to the public and let them have a school device. There's all kinds of unethical reasons for that, but it just mostly depends on who your person is and what they want to do, I guess.
Okay.
I wanted to just talk to y'all about like budgeting and stuff, because I'm interested to know who all is involved in those decisions at the places that you are, I guess, and any type of budget, because it really isn't specific in the book.
Mhm.
They got a CTE department that starts with that CT, because I'm under CTE also as computer science teacher, and then I think my school level too. They both have two different type of budgets. So I think I get more money through the CTE department for stuff that we need, technology things we need.
Do they ever allow you input on the budget?
No, not really.
Mhm.
Not for my few years having a position. I haven't. But I'm glad that we're reading this book because I do plan on being more involved with the process. Though I want to get with my principal and see what I can contribute, because as I read and show, technology coordinator are responsible for a lot of different things, and I don't necessarily do all those things. I'm doing more of the uh, reporting issues, but
You're
it's
the
an
fix it
overall,
man.
yeah, it's an overall thing, like you said, budgeting, planning, and stuff like
Beth, are you involved in that at all at your position?
Yeah, I'm on the leadership team, and I've been on that for years now. So, and we're also a Title I school, so we use that as well. But we use our technology money, and basically we look at all the department chairs. They each have a say. What does your department need as far as technology? And then we meet, and then we generally just have a vote to
Mhm.
see what our biggest needs are. I know we just did an amendment to our Title I budget, and we're looking at new security system, check-in system for
Yeah.
parents. We need that
Oh,
desperately.
yeah.
Well, in my new role, I am not a part of that decision making.
I bet.
No, it's kind of higher scale where I am now and a lot more decisions being made. But when I was in the classroom, I was on the budget committee at school.
Mhm.
And so we got state funds that we had to kind of allocate and divvy out. And it was, looking at the needs of the school, but some stuff, you had to earmark for certain things.
Right.
But we were also, like Beth said, a Title I school. So like the technology portion, we didn't have a ton that we had to buy. Like as far, I say technology, as far as like Chromebooks and things like that, because we do have a surplus of money from Title I that we can spend on, and we were almost 1-to-1 anyway. So a
Right.
lot of it was like licensed software,
Mhm.
online subscriptions, and things like that we could spend it on. Replacement bulbs for like projectors, upgrades for smart panels, things like that. So, but now it's a whole nother scale. So it's like the district technology coordinator and the program area specialist and that whole side that I don't get to see. So,
Yeah, no, they get their money from a total different place.
Yeah.
Like the ALGP and stuff like that,
Yup.
that kind of stuff. And I don't even know that much about that. I'm not that involved because
Yeah.
I can answer a lot of questions about our school budget and money,
Mhm.
but not the district. But I really am glad that all y'all are, because like I know in the past, it has mostly just been me and the administrator that did every technology budget. It just didn't involve anybody else. And I see good and bad in that, because, you know, sometimes people see all that money and they're like, whoa, we can do all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, but yeah, but we got to do all these other things first. We got to renew all these
Right.
programs and blah, 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 blah. But we have a budget committee this year. It is our grade level team leaders, which would be department chairs like yours. So everybody seems pretty similar. There can be too many people involved, but you know.
And ours was based off of, when at Collier Elementary, ours was based off of nominations, like the faculty
We had to do that
nominated
too.
who they wanted to represent them with the budget decisions. So
Daryl, you were talking about you're in CTE. I know that at my school, we don't use CTE funds to help that. They have their own pot of money. So they have a large part of money. So we don't usually supplement them.
Yeah, that's what they do for some reason in our district. Like even with professional development,
Mhm.
I can go through my school to ask for some funding and they'll direct it to CTE. It's like they try to, you know, save money here and then, you know, it's kind of crazy to me.
Right.
But yeah, that's how we do it up there for some reason. They kind of, like you said, they have their own separate funding. But I am involved with, like, they will come to me and say, okay, what do you need? You know, but I'm not involved in the actual, you know, the budgeting and the meetings and stuff like that. But anything I need, I do like a spreadsheet and submit it that way.
Yep. Google Sheets. I have one every year for the spending and stuff, because like y'all, we're a Title I school, so I have the Title I budget, and then the state budget, you know, she gave me that, which the budget committee votes for it, but I ultimately have to get all the information together for that budget. And then, you know, and then I'm still a teacher unit, so I still get my own fee money that, you know, for stuff like that I have to use. One other thing I noticed about the hiring appropriate IT staff, Beth said that she didn't know of any changes in her years. But how do y'all pick like your school TCs? Like who determines who gets that?
We don't have any.
our principal determined it.
Yeah, our principal.
It's either like we had dual at Collier Elementary. We had a
webmaster.
Yeah, kind of, I guess, but we had like our STEM lab teacher and our library media specialist was ours. So
yeah, you all bringing up some good points for me personally. So I think I should probably focus on my blog should be technology planning, since I don't get to plan in my district, just so I can you know, further educate myself on what's needed. Because like I said, I do want to get with my principal more and be more involved with the process, especially since I'm learning more about everything. So would that be a good topic for me, y'all think, to do that?
So
Yeah.
yep.
I was on the way here. I was trying to think of something, and I mean, this may sound really dumb, but I was thinking about doing a post focusing on like the equipment that our school mostly uses and why and how it benefits the classroom, like the devices that we pretty much choose. Because you know, in our questions, it talked about like how you would determine what type of equipment to purchase. And you know, we're kind of universal. I like having all the same things in the classrooms for multiple reasons. So that was kind of why maybe I think our direction I was leaning toward going in, what our kids have, what our teachers have, and why we use those products and links to them and stuff like that, just in case somebody wanted to know what we were using and why. Does that sound super boring?
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm.
No, and I was kind of looking at it from my position. I mean, I know we're a district but no two schools are the same. So my perspective was looking at it as a district standpoint, like the types of technology used in one school versus other school, you know, like, does that make sense? Like who's using what, and is it a more efficient way to use it for whatever, like for whatever topic that they're talking about? And is it something that we could bring back and say, this is a really good technology tool? We think everybody should have this, not that they're going to listen to me, but I could say it.
Yes. Yes.
Or I could at least plant the seed with teachers. Hey, have you
Right.
tried this? And then they get their school to purchase it or something.
Absolutely.
I just want to say we have reached our time. We could keep going, but I just wanted to let you know we have reached 15 minutes.
Perfect. Well, we can let Beth try to share her ideas for a blog and then wrap up.
Well, I was just thinking about the whole idea of, disposal of the equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at that and looking at it maybe from an environmental standpoint, as well as
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's cool.
also making sure that you're adhering to privacy laws as well.
Yes. Well, I would include the buyback as part of it too,
Okay.
Being an option if
Right.
you wanted to, just because I did do that one year. It was a ton of work for a very small amount of money. So I just do not know if I would recommend that to everyone.
Sorry.
But because I think I ended up, I'm trying to remember the numbers, but I know I sent in like over 200 serial numbers for devices, and I think they ended up picking like less than half of them up. So, and then I still just had to dispose of the other ones.
Okay. So that was just on Chromebooks though. We have equipment like
Okay.
Elmos, old printers, and we've got probably gateways.
Printers go in the dumpster at my school.
Okay.
If it's less than $500, it probably goes in the dumpster.
Okay.
A printer for sure does, because I want to throw half of them in the dumpster anyway, all the time.
Yeah.
But people still bring them to my room and leave them in the floor. I offer twice a year. At the end of the school year, if you have something you want out of your room, you can bring it to me and I'll get rid of it. And at the beginning of the year, and that's the only time. I will not take it any other time.
Yeah, because you would be a revolving door if you did.
Mm-hmm.
You have to set those boundaries.
You should have seen my room whenever I inherited it. I was also like 6 months pregnant and had an entire floor full of iMac desktops and printers and Elmos and all that stuff. I had some really sweet teachers and Clay who helped me clean out an entire weekend to get stuff out of there because it was horrendous. You couldn't even move.
If I remember, I'm gonna take a picture of my floor and show you all those computers.
You should do that, Daryl.
I wish I would have snapped a picture of what I saw outside our instructional building. Like so many computers, it was just ridiculous. Like how many?
Oh, Beth, another thing that some schools do too that I read about during the pandemic, since the Chromebooks do have an end of life, they were allowing sometimes students to have the option to purchase them.
Oh, okay.
So if you could find something about that, obviously not a brand new one, but if it's going to be end of life anyway in a year or two, that was one of the things a lot of districts were doing during the pandemic was they were letting like high school kids or seniors, older students who may need one for another year or two, purchase them for, a pretty cheap, reasonable price to have a device.
I like that.
Which would be still recycling, putting back into the community. And I'm going to be a salesperson on my blog this time.
Love it.
Look at that sweet
Aww.
baby.
Look at that baby.
Oh.
That's who got me sick.
Always.
Yes. It's okay. Totally worth it, right?
Right. Okay, friends. Well, I guess
we got some great ideas.
Yes, and we can put it on our jam board if we need anything else. Or our text email.
Daryl, I hope you feel better.
Me too. I hate that. At least you got a weekend to recover.
Yeah.
All right, and I will stop the recording and I'll go ahead and upload it and submit it right now too.
Okay.
Daryl, were you going to say something?
Oh, sorry.
No, I was about to say Kate is going to submit it to Dr. Lawley.
You got it.
Hey, Mr. Lawley.
Hello, sorry, I almost missed another one. For some reason, I was thinking it was at 5.
You just don't like us. It's okay. I got to meet him in person last week at ALIT, so.
Nice.
So, no, this is just the group that likes Friday afternoons for meetings.
We're
short
so
Friday.
busy during the week.
Yeah, 3 o'clock on a Friday, I like to forget about things like this, so.
Well, in my house, if it doesn't happen on a Friday, chances are it's not going to happen with our busy schedule. I have a middle school sports person and a dance girl that takes, and our weeks are full. So
Gotcha. Do y'all have any questions? I know I came in really late in y'all's discussion.
We did a jam board earlier and kind of contributed ideas and stuff on there, and then just kind of openly discussed things that we wanted to clarify further when we got on here.
Okay,
I can send the link for that as well whenever I upload if you want to see it.
okay, that'd be great.
Okay.
So, all right, well, I'll look at the jam board and watch the 15 minutes I missed. I was intentionally making a point. Like, I thought it was at 5. I was going to go ahead and get the link pulled up, and I was like, oh, this started 15 minutes ago. So,
That's okay.
but
that's the power of technology. We recorded it and you can go back. So no worries.
all
I
right.
still check every so often to make sure it is recording. Paranoid.
Please be recording.
Let me
Please,
know when
please be
I join.
recording.
Yeah.
Let me know when I joined. I was joining a recorded meeting, so we're
Oh,
good.
thank goodness.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, y'all have a great weekend.
Let me
Okay.
know if you have other questions.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Bye.